Coach, you and I had a conversation before the season started. We talked about how not a lot of guys in your receiving corps coming back had a lot of experience. And I expressed the feeling that I thought the system would turn these guys into stars. How's that working so far?
You know, we're very lucky. Our guys, you know, we talked about this last spring, and we talked about being the best that we can be. And our guys accepting the challenge of the opportunity given. You know, in this system, you have the capability to do some really special things like you see on Saturdays. And I think it's been an awesome challenge for our guys, and our guys have been excited since the season ended to get back out there. And obviously Brock and Madison and Aaron Pryor have they've taken a step, and they want to be the best, and they want to be in that moment where Justin relies on them, and they want to be a part of this offense that's really, really tough to defend. And it's just about an opportunity, and those guys every single day, they understand the opportunity, and they're maximizing it. They're taking advantage of it.
One of the things that we have struggled with for a long time has been our ability of receivers to block and hold blocks, and a lot of people groan when we see bubble screens and things like that because they usually get blown up.
Yeah.
How has that improved this year?
I'll tell you what, once again, our guys, we talk about it in all aspects of our game, and being really physical, and our guys have accepted that challenge of being physical, and it starts in practice. We talk about it every day. How we practice is how we're going to play and perform on Saturdays, and our guys, you know, they want to be good at that because it's a big part of our game, and we understand that with as talented as our run game is, and X, and the way that our line is blocking, and the perimeter stuff, that it's going to be a huge part of our success, and those guys have really accepted that challenge.
Coach, I don't think I've never known a player who did not think they could actually perform on a field, regardless of the sport. But it's one thing to think you can do it. It's another thing to actually have shown you can do it. How important was the Shadron game to guys like Brock and Malcolm, or Brock, Malcolm, and Madison? Because they had breakout games.
Yeah, you know, the funny thing is we talk about this all the time, and those guys knew that that's what was going to happen. Those guys set a vision for what they are going to be and who they're going to become, and they practice like it, and they envision it, and they believe in themselves, and they have confidence. And we've talked a lot about defining confidence this offseason, because there were moments in the past where there were examples of confidence coming into play. So that was been probably the biggest thing this offseason, is really defining that to our guys, and defining that to Brock, and defining that to Madison. And those guys know that they've earned the right to be confident. And then Saturday, to be honest with you, they knew that was going to happen, and they practiced like that, and they expect to be the best. They expect to make plays, and they want that opportunity. They want to be the guy that we can rely on.
Sacramento State cornerbacks, how do they match up with your guys?
You know, really solid group. Both of their corners, they'll roll three of them in. Very solid group. You know, we've done a really good job of really focusing on us, and really focusing on our techniques and what we do, and then taking a look at kind of what their techniques, and then saying, okay, this is what we're going to have to do in these scenarios. If they, you know, the best thing about the first three games is we got a good variety of man press, and then we got a good variety of off coverage, and really I think our guys have really accepted the challenge of both, and really you know, performing no matter what the scenario is. And so we're trying to do a good job. Those guys are solid guys. They do a good job. Jody does a great job with those guys. But we're really focusing on us just winning our one-on-one matchup.
If Sac rotates coverages a lot from zone to man or whatever, is it up to your receivers to read that?
Yeah, we you know, sometimes you know, they're a team that'll play kind of man principles in their zone too. So it's on us to decipher this is a man type deal on the perimeter, which they've done, and Jody's done that in the past, And then obviously it's on us to understand our concept and what we're trying to do, and then how, what our tactic is to win the route.
How much have you guys looked at last year's tape against Weber State defensively, or did the win know an effect?
That's one that you have to at least acknowledge it, but we've tried to focus more on them this season and kind of their personnel, and then we have a general idea of Jody in the past. I was actually Coach Kramer and I worked with Jody Sears at Washington State a few years ago, so we know Jody pretty well. So it's more of just a general idea of who Jody is and what he does. He was the corners coach, and so we kind of got an interesting feel for him. And so with that being said, you try not to take into consideration too much of the past, but we more so just this is kind of the things that we're going to do, and really at the end of the day, we got to be good on Saturday. And we talk about that all the time. Coach Bailey, Coach Kramer. So we talk about to the wideouts. We got to be good on Saturday and really have a good idea of, okay, this is how they're playing us today, and so between each series we got to be. That's where we want to be at our best. This is what they're doing today, as opposed to kind of some of the past.
Talk about how slot play from K-Dub has helped the outside.
Yeah. It's, obviously historically, obviously with Luke Austin and now K-Dub and young Hagen Graves too. I'll tell you what, we've been very fortunate at the slot, and those guys have really done a good job of winning inside. And so really, when you see us, it really frees up our guys on the perimeter for those one-on-one matchups. So it's been really good, and those guys, K-Dub's done a great job. He's playing really well, and we're excited to see him progress every day.
Thanks, Coach.
All right.